Welcome back to Only Talk Sports, where we talk sports every single day, or at least we try to. I'm your host, Jeffrey, and subscribe to the channel for more sports content. Hit that notification bell so you never miss another video. Week 4 in college football is done, and I'm going to go over all these games and recap and react to what I thought were the biggest surprises and upsets and results of the weekend. On Thursday, you had West Virginia beat Virginia Tech 33-10. Now, I did pick West Virginia to win, but I thought it would be a lot closer. West Virginia pulled away late, and Virginia Tech looked like a struggling football team. Coastal Carolina beat Georgia State 41-24, and that was a good win for them. And Illinois blew out Chattanooga 31-0. Great win for them. On Friday night, Syracuse beat Virginia 22-20. I picked Syracuse to win, and this was a game that at Syracuse looked like they were going to lose, but they did come back around and hit a field goal late to win. Air Force beat Nevada 48-20, and UTEP beat Boise State 27-10, and Boise State fired their offensive coordinator because Boise State is really struggling. And then on Saturday, the big results. Georgia beat Kent State 39-22. Georgia was struggling, but they did pull away relatively in the second half, but not a great result for them, and a lot of people were wondering what's wrong with them, and I just think they didn't take the opponent seriously. Alabama blew out Vanderbilt 55-3, no surprise there. Ohio State beat Wisconsin 52-21. A lot of people were hyping up this game, but there was no contest. Ohio State's offense is just way too explosive. Wisconsin cannot put up enough points. Michigan beat Maryland 34-27. And in this game right here, Maryland like they actually can maybe pull it off, but the upset, but Michigan did win. Good game for Maryland. Maybe Maryland is an improved football team. Clemson beat Wake Forest 51-45 in double overtime. This was a game Wake Forest had every opportunity to win, and they didn't get it done. And Clemson won. Good win for Clemson, but they survived. DJ Uiagalelei played fantastic, and it was proven to a lot of people that actually he can play. And Sam Hartman played good for Wake Forest. This was a fantastic game. But good win for Clemson to survive and keep their college football playoff bid hopes alive. Kansas State beat Oklahoma 41-34. This was a bad result for Oklahoma. Kansas State beating them. That doesn't knock Oklahoma completely out of the playoff picture, but this really does hurt their chances. And Kansas State has beaten them 3 times in the last 5 years. First loss for Brent Venables as the Oklahoma head coach. Adrian Martinez played fantastic for Kansas State. USC beat Oregon State 17-14. I did not watch this game because I went to sleep, but USC struggling to win over Oregon State. They're a high-flying offense, got stopped in this game, so it's going to be interesting to see how they do moving forward. Kentucky only beat Northern Illinois 31-23. Could be a case of not taking the opponent seriously. Texas A&M beat Arkansas 23-21 in a game that Arkansas should have won, but the fumble that you had KJ Jefferson do at the goal line where he tried to dive into the end zone and he fumbled it, and then Texas A&M took it all the way back on a crazy play where the guy pitched it to his teammate and he took it all the way, and then Arkansas missed a field goal at the end. It hit doink at the top. Arkansas had many chances, but they didn't win. That hurts for them, but A&M is now back on track for losing to Appalachian State. Tennessee beat Florida 38-33 in a game where Tennessee finally got revenge on the Florida Gators. Florida's beaten them 16 of the last 17 times, but Tennessee finally won. Good win for Tennessee, and they look for real. It's going to be very tough to see. The Alabama-Tennessee game could be the biggest game Alabama has all season because Tennessee is playing fantastic. NC State 41, UConn 10. That was a blowout. Utah 34, Arizona State 13. Utah took care of business. Penn State 33, Central Michigan 14. This game was kind of close early, but Penn State pulled away. Oregon 44, Washington State 41. This game right here, Oregon was losing big, and then they came back and beat Washington State. Washington State is a better team with Cameron Ward at quarterback, but Oregon did win with Bo Nix. Ole Miss 35, Tulsa 27. Ole Miss struggling a little bit, but they got the win. Baylor 31, Iowa State 24. This was a game where Baylor got the win on the road. It's tough to win at Iowa State, but a lot of Iowa State fans were upset at the refs because there were a lot of bad calls in this game. But Baylor did win, and that was a good win for them. Washington 40, Stanford 22. So Washington is continuing to roll after beating Michigan State, and they're probably going to move up in the polls. BYU 38, Wyoming 24. BYU bounced back after losing to Oregon. Texas Tech 37, Texas 34 in overtime. This was a game right here where Texas just gave it away. They should have won, but Quinn Ewers being out, they are a better team with Quinn Ewers, and if he can return, I'm sure Texas will improve again. Pittsburgh 45, Rhode Island 24. They beat them pretty good. Middle Tennessee beat Miami 45-31. In a game, it shows that Miami's obviously not back. It stinks for them, but Miami, Mario Cristobal's got a lot of stuff to figure out. They should have beat Middle Tennessee State. They were a 25-point favorite, and they did not get it done. Auburn beat Missouri 17-14 in overtime in a crazy finish where Missouri, the player for Missouri, a running back, ran all the way to the end zone, and he tried to reach out for the end zone, but the ball fell out of his hand. That was a crazy finish. Mississippi State 45, Bowling Green 14. That's a good win for Mississippi State. TCU 42, SMU 34. Good win for them in the Iron Skillet game. Kansas 35, Duke 27. Kansas is 4-0 for the first time since like 09 or something like that. That's great for them. The battle of the basketball blue bloods, as they called it, and Kansas got the win. Duke has their first loss of the season. Louisville 41, South Florida 3. They blew them out. Buffalo 50, Eastern Michigan 31. UCLA 45, Colorado 17. Colorado, unfortunately, is terrible. UCLA is doing a lot better than Colorado this year because UCLA only beat South Alabama 1, which again could be taking the opponent not too seriously, but they blew out Colorado. Colorado's just losing badly to everybody. Temple 28, UMass nothing. UMass is not very good if Temple's blowing you out. Ohio 59, Fordham 52. That was a high-scoring game. Notre Dame 45, North Carolina 32. I picked North Carolina to win, but North Carolina's defense just couldn't get it done, and Notre Dame's offense came to life. Good win for the Fighting Irish. Minnesota 34, Michigan State 7. Michigan State collapsed here. They played terrible, and off that Washington loss, Michigan State's definitely not looking like a good team. There are some injuries that Michigan State has suffered, but Minnesota beat them pretty handily. Cincinnati 45, Indiana 24. I picked Cincinnati to win, but I picked it to be a lot closer of a game. Indiana, they made a lot of mistakes, and if they had played better, they could have won, but they just kept making mistakes. James Madison 32, Appalachian State 28. Appalachian State's kind of fallen off since they beat Texas A&M. They barely beat Troy on a Hail Mary, and then they just lost to James Madison, so they got to get it figured out. San Diego State 17, Toledo 14. Good win for them. Western Kentucky 73, Florida National 0. Western Kentucky must have been really mad after losing to Indiana, or FIU's just really bad because they just blew them out. Memphis 44, North Texas 34. Good win for Memphis. UTSA 52, Texas Southern 24. Good win for them. UCF 27, Georgia Tech 10. Georgia Tech is struggling. Jeff Collins is in trouble. And UCF, Gus Malzahn getting it done. Georgia Tech is not looking like a good football team at all. Sacramento State 41, Colorado State 10. Good one for them. California 49, Arizona 31. I picked Arizona. I thought with Jeff Fish, being a newer coach, that he's got his team energized that they would win because Justin Wilcox hasn't really been getting it done at Cal. But they finally put up a lot of points. Cal has not scored 49 points in a long time. Liberty 21, Akron 12. Good one for them. Navy 23, East Carolina 20 in double overtime. East Carolina missed another field goal, like they did in the NC State game, and special teams is really costing them this season. Georgia Southern 34, Ball State 23, good one for them. Old Dominion 29, Arkansas State 26, good one for them. Houston 34, Rice 27. Houston bounces back. Houston's been struggling a little bit after losing to Kansas and Texas Tech, but they did get a win over Rice. Iowa 27, Rutgers 10. I picked Iowa to win, and Iowa won by a little bit more than I thought. Rutgers' offense just could not get it done, and Iowa is coming to life a bit on the offensive end. Southern Miss 27, Tulane 24, good one for them. 34-24, UNLV over Utah State. Texas State 34, Houston Christian nothing. Troy 16, Marshall 7. So Troy bounces back after losing at the end to Appalachian State heartbreakingly. South Alabama 38, Louisiana Tech 14. South Alabama looks pretty good. LSU beat New Mexico 38-0. Good one for Brian Kelly. Miami, Ohio beat Northwestern 17-14. Northwestern unfortunately is in the toilet. They're not playing good at all. And Northwestern, the only win they have is over Nebraska, so that's not good news for Nebraska if Northwestern beats you and they can't beat Miami, Ohio. And they lost to Southern Illinois last week. South Carolina 56, Charlotte 20. Good win for them. Purdue barely beat Florida Atlantic 28-26. Purdue struggling a little bit. They looked very good at the beginning of the season when they almost beat Penn State. They're struggling. They lost to Syracuse, and now they almost lost to Florida Atlantic. New Mexico State 45, Hawaii 26. Good win for them. Florida State 44, Boston College 14. Boston College is struggling bad, and Jordan Travis was back for Florida State, so that's good for them. UL Monroe 21. Louisiana Lafayette 17, good win for UL Monroe after UL Monroe got bludgeoned by Alabama. And San Jose State 34, Western Michigan 6. So that's a good one for them. Great weekend of college football. I cannot wait for week 5. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. What was your biggest surprise result and upset of the week? There was a lot of great games, a lot of games that I thought was go one way or the other, and they didn't. But a lot of teams did survive, so it was good results for them to stay in the hunt for the college football playoff. Like this video down below. Subscribe to the channel if you like sports content, and I will see you next time.